Well, recording in progress. Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. Again, my name is Jeffrey Davis, and I continue to host thousands and thousands of interviews talking about this economy, how people win, and how they're dealing and competing. And when we talk about winning, I think you're really going to want to listen to this interview because he's deeply involved with the formula on how to help entrepreneurs win. But before I do that, let me reintroduce my guest host, Evan Macedo, VP Finance and Operations at the great and wonderful firm of Sapers and Wallack. Welcome back, Evan.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here. I love interviewing all of our wonderful local Boston entrepreneurs, and we have a fantastic guest in store for today.
Well, what an intro. Joe, I'm not even sure you want to talk after that. It can only be downhill. But let's introduce Joe Chatham, a founder of USA 500 Clubs, a group that many entrepreneurs I know rely upon to continue their success. Welcome back, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's been a while, pre-pandemic, but I always enjoy being here and seeing you again and seeing Evan as well. So thank you.
Great. So for those listeners who don't know about USA 500, why don't you fill them in first on what the organization does?
Yeah, USA 500 is it's a business networking group. I hate the term, but that's essentially what it is. Relationship marketing, old-fashioned business networking for really higher level trusted advisors to work together to form really meaningful relationships. And as a result of those relationships, they do business with each other. It's not rocket science. It's just getting the right people together, bringing good people together and watch great things happen, really.
Well, to me, there's two things that go into that formula. One is you have to have the right people in the group. And two, you have to have the right facilitator that knows how to run a proper group for the best of the group. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I think you nailed it. The quality of the group makes a difference, or I should say the makeup of the group, depending on who's in the group. Right. So there's some really fantastic networking organizations out there that have their own niche. BNI is fantastic for the market it serves. If you are new in your industry, if you are, you could be an attorney, but they also will have people who do window treatments, and they'll have people who do haircutting, and they'll have people also CPAs. It's a great model, and for a more encompassing model for a lot of different people. Our model's really focused on attorneys, accountants, financial service providers. We do reserve 10% of our membership for like nonprofits, just so they can get some exposure to the community. But the makeup is important, and then of course the leaders and how they facilitate to develop relationships. So our organization is really known for both. We do a lot of training with our leaders. Evan's a leader. Actually, Evan's one of our leaders in our Back Bay group. And we really focus on our leaders who are selfless and who can connect people and facilitate relationships. Our meetings aren't just about business scenarios. Our meetings are about all sorts of things, that just bring people together. The old rule, you got to know, like, trust, and trust somebody before you're willing to refer them business. And we focus really on the know, like, and trust part. The business part just follows naturally.
And
Well,
Joe,
you described Evan very well. Evan, I'm sure you're sitting there hopping ready for a question.
absolutely. Well, I want to talk about the vetting process for a second because, not just anybody can get into USA 500. USA 500 has a certain set of standards and quotas that they're trying to fill for each chapter to make sure it is the best fit for everybody in the organization. Do you want to talk about what your vetting process looks like and why you think it is created so much success for everybody in the group?
Sure. I think I'll preface it with the idea is also about having a limited size organization, then hence the name 500. We won't have more than 500 people in a whole region. So, for example, New England, which is our original region, we have, 505 members or something like that. And we limit it because we don't want to dilute opportunity for all of our members. We're not exclusive. You can have multiple practice areas in the same, you could have the same practice area in the same group. But we also avoid dilution there by maybe big firm, small firm, woman, man, all sorts of different reasons that people may do business with each other, but they complement each other. Now, our vetting process, I don't know of another organization that does this. We go through a 90-day vetting process. You have to be sponsored in. Once you're sponsored in, we do a background check. We do an audit. We check the regulatory agencies. We make sure that you don't have any complaints against you, things like that. Once we've gone through that process and that you've been in business for a certain amount of time, then once we've gone through that, then we do an interview. And then when we do an interview, then we approve someone to be able to attend meetings for up to 90 days, at which point the group facilitators evaluate that person. And at the end, and then they have to go through a training class. And at the end of all this, if everybody agrees that this would be a good person, we bring them into the group. Now, one of the critical parts I brought up there, I didn't say just necessarily a good professional. That's the stuff that's measurable. Our number one rule, if I can say it on there, is we have a no asshole rule, and it's on our website. It's said throughout the organization. We're looking for good people, right? It's great. It's easy to find someone who's really talented lawyer, but you want to find people who are willing to help other people and understand the concept that you're here to help. And that's a heck of a lot easier to go to a meeting and look to how can I help other people, as opposed to walking in, throwing your business cards at people and hoping one of them, sticks like a ninja star in somebody, right? So we really are looking for good people. I mean, that's our fundamental rule. They have to have all those other qualifications, and we go through a 90-day process to evaluate that. And I'd say, Evan, I'm not going to put you on the spot. You're interviewing me, but I think that you could probably attest to our culture. It's a very, very, very tight culture, a very defined culture, and people who, if they get past the process and they turn out to not be, fit our culture, they pretty much have tried on their own pretty quickly, because they're coming in saying, what's in it for me? And that just doesn't work in our world.
I want to give you a little bit deeper endorsement. That's not as direct to you, but it's in general about what you're trying to do.
Okay.
I went into business 40 years ago, and I joined a networking group. There was no USA 500, and this was run by a person who had 7 groups. We had 17 people in our group. And not only did I get into a networking group, but I built a lifetime of professional, trusted relationships that have lasted to this day. Now, not everybody is still working in the group. Not everybody's still alive, but there are 4 or 5 people that I was close with in that group that I still work with today. One person I just worked with this morning. And it's because you helped create a relationship that was based on trust and respect that can last a whole career and build a career. And I think that gets lost a little bit sometimes when you're, sort of talking about the group in general. And I just want to add that to it for those of us who are looking to build a long-term trusted relationship. These are the groups that you do it in.
That's right. That's right. And there's a lot of good groups out there. It's a very heavy focus of ours. Again, depending on what your business is, what your approach is, there's some people who are straight business development who just need to be in front of a lot of people, right? That's not our model. But there's certainly great groups out there for them too. So, for anybody, I encourage them, get out there. But to your point, Jeffrey, get out and form relationships, no matter what group you join. Because they last, and they can last a long time. They can build your career. They really can build your career. Something you said, Jeffrey, that's interesting is they're friends. I've been to more, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, b'nai mitzvahs. I've been to confirmations. I've been to weddings. I've been to funerals. Unfortunately, and like you said, people have passed. But gosh, I've been to a ton of these things, and these aren't business relationships. I was invited to a bris once, and I was like, okay, I'm clearly on the inside with this family, right? I mean, so,
you don't want to be too inside on that one.
No. That's actually stand back a little bit, but but it really means something when you have that, and when I see members send me pictures. I recently had members all from Boston send me pictures from Santa Monica Church in Santa Monica, and it was St. Monica's Church in Santa Monica, and they were all there to go to the wedding of a daughter of a member. And what a great picture. And that they all traveled out there to see her daughter get married, and spend a lot of time together. Like, I love seeing that stuff. I love seeing that stuff. So,
Well, you have to have a certain positive attitude about people and knowing that you need to work about people. And I give you a lot of credit. You've built a great organization.
thank
It's
you.
helped a lot of people. And I hope you will come back frequently to the show and talk about the benefits of networking and what people need to learn about networking. But
Sure.
before you go today, and I hope we don't take years again to connect, Joe, if someone's looking for you, USA 500, local chapters, how do they find all of these things?
Easy. www.usa500clubs.com. And it has all the information about us, about our vetting process. If you're interested in our 90-day application process, the contacts in the office. We have 35 clubs, on the East Coast in LA, between the three regions, between those regions right now, 850 members. But the website will get you right to us.
That's great, Joe. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks,
Uh,
guy.
Evan, how do people find you again?
Very easily, Jeffrey. You can go to sapers-wallack.com. You can go to our team page. You can see myself and the rest of our wonderful advisors. If you're looking for a company that can help you with your wealth management, your executive benefits, your 401ks, and your group benefits all in one place, please give me a call. I would really love to help. Additionally, as the USA 500 Back Bay Club development director, we are looking for CPAs to join our group, specifically if you have a specialty. If you are listening to this and you would like to have a little introduction into the group, I really encourage you to contact either myself or Joe. We'd love to have a conversation with you.
Absolutely. And you can meet Evan personally if you go to the meeting.
There's nothing like Evan. And I know that because we did a trip once overseas together. He's the best. And always glad to help both of you. I think it's important what both of you do. And I will say, in support of Sapers and Wallack, they just helped me build a key employee retention program for a client of ours, which I think was very beneficial, very thoughtful too, very customized. So both organizations do great work and make people like me that are fairly average look good every day. Remind everybody we have more stories, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs.